What's going on? So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the quickest way to get started as a growth operator as well as make 10K per month. This is going to be a high level overview and a large training on growth operating and how to do it, how I do it, how I make a lot of money through growth operating, how I've been able to close a very large portfolio. I have 5 million followers in my portfolio. So this is my story just real quick. I'm not just like doing this as a VSL. I know that you're probably aware of the game. This is not a VSL. This is literally just a training to actually show you how to do growth operating. I care more about providing value than just talking, right? So before growth operating, this is me. I was overweight. I was depressed. I was addicted to video games. I was a loser. I was a dork. I was broke. And now I do growth operating. So this is after growth operating. Now I own a 6-figure agency. I have 5 million followers in my portfolio. I have a lot of very, very big people that I work with. I wouldn't say a lot, but the people that I work with are very high caliber. We only take on 1 to 2 clients per month maximum. And that's like our maximum capacity. Usually it's 1 every 1 to 2 months, just because of the caliber of people that we're working with. And so just to give you an idea, we work with some really big people, 5 million followers in our portfolio. We generated, we did our highest day was $37,000 in a day. We've turned $100 into a 15K in 2 days with paid ads. I did a video on all those things. Now I'm living my dream life. I'm here in the house with my business partner. I live here with my business partner. Now I'm balling, right? I'm not, at that next level, but obviously there's always more levels to go, but I'm a lot further along than I was over here. You can see I'm much happier. I'm much cleaner. I have a cleaner hairline. I got, trimmed up beard. I'm actually looking professional. And yeah, I just feel better. That's a big thing. So I got to flex on you. I'm sorry, but I do. Here's our $37,000 day. This is basically what I just said, but this is just proof because people don't believe me. Here's our cost per result being $1.18 for our ads with a $50 day budget on a 5K deal, where we closed $15,000 that day or that 2 days. So growth operating, real quick, what is it? So most people define growth operating as they go out, they find creators, they help them build a low ticket school community. And I'm here to tell you that is about the worst business model that you could do because it's so little friction to create a school community. It's so easy. And so that's what most people define growth operating as, but most people are broke, right? That's the problem is most people, if you go out and listen to most people, you're going to end up with the results that most people get. And so if you want to get results that other people don't get, you have to be willing to do the things that they won't do. Meaning that instead of just building a school community, like they could do that on their own. Instead of just building a school community, you should be offering the entire business. You don't want to just take the school community on, right? You want to take everything on. You want to take the high ticket, the low ticket, the mid ticket, everything that they need in their business. You should be taking on as more of a growth partner than a growth operator is what I like to call it. A growth operator, it's a bit of a scammy term just because of my thoughts on it. I did a whole video on my YouTube on like the dark secrets of growth operating, why the business model sucks, why it doesn't work. So you can go watch that if you want to learn more. All right, imagine a 10, right? Right now, I want you to take like 5 seconds and just picture in your head, close your eyes and just picture what does a 10 look like to you in dating, right? What does an absolute 10 look like? And we're going to come back to this thought over and over and over throughout this video. So my point in saying that is that girls and dating is very, very similar to the way that we do growth operating. And so I'm going to walk you through that in just a second. So here's our business model. Basically, the first step is to find influencers. The second step is to create info products. And the third step is can't talk. The third step is to turn the audience into assets, meaning cash, through our systems. So this is the funnel that we use, right? This is the basics of the funnel. We start with the community, with the audience, and then they have the CTAs. They have conversations, which are DMs. Then we have calls, and then we collect cash, right? So this is basically the outline of our funnel. We're going to go a lot more in depth than this. This is just the overall high level overview because I know some people like to see the high level. So here's the logistics of starting a business, and just kidding, I'm not going to show you this whole AI slide with this random dude that Gamma generated me. This is all BS. You don't need all this to start a business. There's actually only 3 steps to starting a business. So the first, you want to get an LLC. You want to form an LLC. This is for tax reasons. This is for getting the benefits of being able to write stuff up. You have to, or you want to get an LLC. I'm not here to give you tax advice or legal advice or anything like that, but get an LLC. Trust me. Just form the business. Then get a business bank account. If you don't already have one, I use Relay Financial. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. So if you use Relay, it's all online. So this is a completely online. You can just come here, hit the sign up button. And basically Relay, what it does that's different from other banks is it's all online. There's not like a physical bank. It's a neobank, so it operates all online. They're able to do a lot more stuff for business, and it's a lot easier to manage your money. You can move it around a lot easier. It's a lot less friction. All right, and step 3 is you want to get a Stripe account and link it to a bank account. So the beauty of Relay is that you can have multiple different accounts inside of one overall account, right? So you might have your overall account, and then underneath that, I split those accounts out between the different businesses that I have. So all those businesses are under one LLC. They're under the Dozer Dog Collective, but underneath that, there's different bank accounts that manage the cash flow of each business separately. So this sounds pretty complicated, or it might sound complicated to you. Just make it simple. Get an LLC, get a bank account with that LLC, and get a Stripe account with that bank account on it. So those are the 3 steps to kind of get started, right? And this is the basics of basically like founding your business. This is entry-level logistics of a business. Now, we got to have the FITFO mentality. This is something that I always refer back to inside of business. This is very important. If you don't know what this means, I want to tell you, but if you're scared that you're not going to get results or that you're going to have imposter syndrome, figure it the fuck out, right? That is the motto of everything that we do, right? You got to figure it out. Nothing is just going to fall into your lap. If you're waiting for conditions to be perfect, they never will be. You have to figure it the fuck out, right? You're never just going to know everything from the start. You're going to have to learn from mistakes. Now, those mistakes don't have to be your own mistakes. You can go find a mentor or find somebody to do that for you. However, it's very, very important that you are having the skill of problem solving. That's the number 1 skill that you can have in growth operating, is problem solving and being able to figure it the fuck out, right? Speed, right? One of our biggest competitive advantages, me and Isaiah, Isaiah's my business partner. Me and Isaiah, one of our biggest competitive advantages over every other growth operator is that we act in such speed. We don't spend a month doing market research. We already know the market research. We don't spend a month doing, onboarding, right? That should take a day. We don't spend a month setting up back-end systems. Some people do. Obviously, the back-end systems they evolve as the business goes along, but those back-end systems do not take days to set up. They take a few hours. And so it's very, very simple. I hear all the time, when I was in college, I had somebody come up to me and they basically said like, yo, I'm going to start a business. And then about 3 months later, I hit them up and I was like, oh, how's the business coming? How much money you made so far? And they're like, well, I'm thinking about forming the LLC soon. And Alex Hormozi even did a piece on this, and it was 100% true. I actually saw it in real time back when I was in college, and I've since dropped out of college. But obviously here, this doesn't take 3 months. It takes maybe an hour, right? All this stuff should happen fast. When you procrastinate stuff, you're not just like procrastinating it for yourself, you're procrastinating it for everybody. Everything that happens at a slower pace, and you're slowing yourself down in the future when you want to get stuff done. And so if you can just put in a little bit of extra work right now, you're going to be way further ahead in the future. And so everything you do should happen now. Everything you do should be focused around speed, right? You are behind right now. If you're watching this video and you're just starting growth operating, you're probably behind some growth operators, and there's always going to be people ahead of you. I feel like I'm behind every day because there's people doing way more numbers than we are. And, we're never the best, right? You can't be the best until you've beaten Elon Musk, and you haven't done that yet. And so you are behind. In order to catch up, you must move fast, right? Do you like fast wins? I like fast wins. Now, I'm not saying get rich quick scheme or anything like that, but I am saying make the inputs fast. The outputs might take a long time, but if you put in the inputs right now, it's going to slow down the time and it's going to be able to parallel leap you over the competition, right? So that's what you need to do. Find a person aka a mentor, to parallel leap you over the competition. That's what I did. Doesn't have to be me. It can be me. Doesn't have to be. You can go find anybody out there. Find somebody who's good. Find somebody who's gone where you want to go, and find someone who can parallel leap you over the competition. Now, speed. Whenever you think of speed, think of the Georgia State Patrol. If you know, you know. All right, personal brand. So we've closed very high caliber clients before. If you know Alex Sedlak, that's one of our clients right now. Alex Sedlak has 100 and some thousand followers on IG. Let me look at his TikTok. Pull this up real quick. Yeah, so Alex has 2.1 million followers on TikTok. So very big TikTok account. He's very good at selling. He has a very good audience. And so he's one of our clients right now. And so when my business partner was trying to acquire him as a client, one of the things that he did is he went on a trip to Aspen with him, right? And this wasn't just to acquire him as a client. This is because Isaiah used to be his appointment setter. But he went on a PJ, private jet, with Alex. And so now they got this picture. And this picture led us to be able to close another client that we have, right? So without personal brand, you can't actually advance yourself into the marketplace. What people are looking for is a personal brand. And so you have to go all in on it, right? And so I get the question a lot, do I have to show my face? Well, let's look back to that 10 that we were talking about earlier, right? That 10. Do you think that she would swipe right on you if you didn't have your face in your dating profile? Right? Do you really think so? What are your thoughts on that? And the bank example, of course. Do people go to the bank and say, hey, I want to talk to the logo? No, they say that they want to talk to a person. Why? Because personal connection now, especially after the, not trying to get shadow banned, the thing that happened in 2020 made us all sick. That thing, after that, everybody got very socially awkward. No one knows how to connect with people. And so when you are very good at building a personal connection, a personal touch, one of the great things that Isaiah can do instantly is master a stranger. If you're able to do that and build personal connection with people, you're way ahead of where most people are. So very important, show your face, build a personal brand, not just a brand. We didn't say a business brand. We said a personal brand. Nobody cares about your carousel posts. I hate to break it to you. People want to see a personal brand, right? If you're just posting like a carousel post like everybody does that's built in Canva, nobody cares. I promise. Nobody gives a flying fuck, right? Don't be retarded. Personal brand action items. The number one priority for personal brand is IG. IG is going to be like the home base of everything that you do. So make sure to focus on IG first. It's going to be the first place that you want to focus. And there's 6 things that you want to do first, right? You want to get your profile picture, your name and username. These are simple. Name and username. Your profile picture should be a nice clean shot of your head. You should have a nice looking bio, right? So here's mine, right? I would use what I call an I help statement for this first sentence. So I would say, I help target market achieve dream outcome without pain point, right? So that could be like, I help entrepreneurs scale to 10K a month without paid ads, right? Very simple. Add that in as your I help statement here, right? My bio is probably not the best bio. It could be definitely better. But one very important thing that I see people miss out on a lot is the blue check. Right? If you're not going to be able to pay $15 for the blue check, you probably haven't been successful enough for me to want to work with you. And so that's what goes through my mind whenever I see someone that's not verified doing outreach, right? Get verified. It's like $10, $15. Doesn't really matter. All right. And then fill your grid. So let's look at my Instagram real quick. Your grid, when I say fill the grid, that means fill the last 9 posts in your grid, right? So you want to have at least 9 posts here. If you have just like a blank account and it doesn't have 9 posts, people are going to look at it and say, oh, this dude hasn't been posting. As you can see, I got like 110 posts. I got a ton of posts here. But obviously, when I'm in here and I'm looking at these posts, like these top 3 are the most important, right? These ones should be very high quality posts. This is when I went out on a yacht in the Red Sea. So this is a very solid post. Good picture, right? Here's a really nice picture of myself at the gym versus a progress photo of me before. Here's a photo of me in front of some Lamborghinis when I was out at the Elliott Group for a conference there, right? And you can see that all of the photos that I post, something in common with every single photo that I post, except for maybe this one, because this was just when I was on live with Andy Elliott. Pretty much every photo has me in it, right? I think my theory on Instagram is that the best performing post, you want to do a good bit of pictures, meaning from pictures, there should be like, the first photo should be of yourself, the second photo maybe of yourself, and the other ones of stuff. So like here, if you look at, let's look at this photo. These photos were all of me. They're all taken in different positions, but they're all the same theme. This one, you were both at the same time. And so doing these little carousels like this, where there's multiple photos of the same person, works really, really well, right? Here's another one. So if you can get dialed in on these and then throw in some high SMV reels, meaning sexual market value reels, stuff like this stuff is killer, right? These posts perform super well views-wise, maybe not as far as likes go, but views-wise, these posts perform very well. These are like 8 to 10 second clips of you just doing something that looks fire. And keep in mind, like, we're not just using our Instagram to attract business people. Once we get this follower count up, we're going to be able to attract girls. We're going to be able to attract other people as well. So super, super important that you are actually, getting this stuff cleared away. Now, you should be also filling your story highlights here. I don't really use highlights. I know I should. I just don't. But you can see the important part here is to have wins, testimonials, this kind of stuff. Throw that in there. And then also keep your story full. At all times, there should be stuff on your story. And my story right now is lacking. But your story should have 5 to 10 things on it at any time. Whenever someone looks at your profile, the story is the first thing that people are looking at. So super, super important that you have that there. Now, another thing that we can look at here is that I have Systems Manager. This is just something that I made up. There's not anybody else that has this. If anybody else has it, they stole it from me. But Systems Manager is just, what I do. This could say growth operator, this could say growth partner, this could say whatever you want it to say. But this should be a title that is SEO friendly, because when you're searching, what you're searching is this and the name and the username. So you're searching over here in search. When you're searching over here, you're searching for this and you're searching for this. So those are kind of the things that you're searching for. Another super important thing, and I'm going to get to this in a second in slides as well, is that you add in free sauce, right? Something like this that's a free YouTube video that people can go and click on and watch that actually takes them to a video. And so that's this video, my story video. This is just like my channel trailer. This is basically a video that's talking about my story, right? So that's in my Instagram. All right. Next up, we just talked about the YouTube video. Next up is positioning. Right? Positioning is super, super important. It's an exercise that I do with everything. I do this with every different social media account. So I'll do one with IG. I'll do one with YouTube. I'll do it with every social media that I do. So positioning is the art of finding who are your people, what do they need, who are you, what do you deliver, and why are you special, different than the one. And another thing I added in here, I haven't really said this in the past that much, but what do you stand for? Figure out like what your values are, and then in the captions of your post, explain your values. Explain why you think that thing, right? Here's just a thought. Like you can see whenever I write a caption, my captions are typically pretty long. That one's not, but most of my captions are pretty long, right? They have a full written out story to get people to look at it, read it, and engage with it. So that's super, super important. Add in good quality captions and do positioning. All right, so here's an example of positioning. I don't know why I just did confetti. I meant to get the draw tool. Here's an example of positioning for my YouTube channel here. So this is whenever I record, I make sure that each video follows these guidelines. So this one sentence here answers who are your people, what do they need, who are you, what do you deliver, stand for, and why are you special, different, or the one. This one sentence answers that. So for ambitious individuals, driven online entrepreneurs, and those who are ready to recreate, Zach Rideau's YouTube channel is the enlightening, engaging, and empowering platform that delivers the tools, tactics, and trade secrets to build a business brand, because in the world of relentless competition, only the audacious rise, right? You can see these. I have different positioning statements for all these. I have my I help statement here. I have my ICP statement. So all this stuff is things that you should have written out in a document somewhere. All right, we already talked about making the YouTube video, so let's go on to the business life cycle. This is just a kind of another big idea that you need to understand, right? These are kind of the steps in a business. You need to get clients, you need to get money, aka sales, and you need to get results. So these are basically the 3 steps in any business, right? Here is acquisition, here we have our sales systems, and then here we have our delivery systems. So there are 3 types of systems that you can build. There's 3 basically buckets here that you can use. And so in the acquisition process, this is where most people are stuck. And you can't solve the sales problem without solving the leads problem. You can't solve the results problem without solving the money problem. So if you've heard Alex Hormozi talk about the problem solution cycle, where when you solve one problem, you get another, that's basically what most sales trainers do, for example, right? You're going to get them clients and then they don't know what to do with those clients, right? So now you got to get them money and they don't know what to do with, they don't know how to deliver the service. And so now you're going to get them results. And so this is kind of like a problem solution cycle a little bit. This is basically the life cycle of the business. When you get good results, you'll then be able to get more clients because word of mouth will spread. So this is another super important thing to understand, is that with high caliber influencers, word of mouth is key. That's the number one way that you're going to acquire them, just because they have such a high caliber of influence. And where do high caliber people hang out? Well, with other high caliber people. So acquisition, let's get into this real quick. I'm going to try to blow through this real quick, but you basically have 4 types of acquisition, right? You got cold inbound, cold outbound, warm inbound, and warm outbound, right? So these are, I might have said some of those twice, I'm not sure. But basically you have warm to cold traffic. So how much do they know about you? Are they hot traffic? Do they love what you're doing? Are they fans have already made a purchase? Are they warm traffic? They know of you. They don't know exactly who you are. Or cold traffic. People have never heard of you. They're completely cold to your brand. They have no clue what you're doing or who you are. Right? And then you have your inbound and your outbound. So inbound is people that come to you. Outbound is people you go after. Right? So these are kind of the acquisition equation, and there's basically 4 types of acquisition. These are the big overall overarching things. Yeah, maybe there's other ones. Ooh, what about direct mail? Shut up. Nobody cares. Direct mail is retargeting probably, but they all fall kind of into these buckets. So you got your paid ads, your retargeting, your cold outbound, and your content. So these are basically the 4 types of acquisition that we have here. Everything falls into these buckets. So cold DMs, cold calls, whatever falls here. Retargeting is hitting up your current leads. Obviously ads is ads, and anything content basically is content. So how to get your first creator client. Now, this is something that a lot of people overlook, right? The hardest thing you will do in this journey is getting your first client. After you get that first client, like we talked about in the business life cycle, after you get that first client, it's going to be so easy because you're going to be able to get results and you're going to be able to use those results to get more clients. You're going to have more leverage. And so when you get your first creator client, the secret is to do what others don't. And if you want to get the result that others want, and I said that I think earlier in this video as well, but super, super important. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to do the things that others aren't willing to do. That means sending cold email. Maybe that means doing direct mail. Maybe that means doing cold calls. There's so many different things that you may or may not have to do depending on your situation. I can't tell you do this. This is the best way to do it. That's what every creator tries to do. The best way to get creator clients. There isn't a best way. If there was a best way, everybody would be doing it and be saturated, and we would be doing what others do and getting the same results that everyone else gets. And remember, the results that other people get, the average American has less than $1,000 in their bank account. So do you want the results that others get? Probably not. So this is just a quote that I pulled here. I don't remember who said this, probably Andy Frisella or something like that. But value comes from the inefficient actions. When you take inefficient actions, people value it because they understand that it takes time, energy, and resources to make it happen. So this is a super, super important thing or concept for you to understand, right? When you go out of your way to make something that's inefficient, it becomes efficient because people value it. When people value it, when big creators value you going out of your way to bring them value, they are going to want to repay that value. They're going to have the ability of reciprocity. So you have to go out and see how can you provide value first. This equation only works if it's value first, right? You have to bring value first. So the offers. So there's basically 4 offers here. One's not really an offer, but we have our free content, our low ticket community, our mid ticket community, and our high ticket one-on-one coaching. So this is, kind of our offer stack or a value ladder, if you will. If you've seen Russell Brunson talk about it, it's a value ladder. As this goes up, the price goes up as well as the value also goes up. So they go up at the same rate, but basically we have 4 tiers. So we have our low ticket community, we have our mid ticket, and then we have our high ticket. Most growth operators go only for low ticket. They're only taking this much of the business with them, right? They are losing out on all this revenue, and typically this is where the majority of the revenue comes from, because one high ticket client might be $5K, might be $10K. If this is $5K and this is $50, well, you do the math. What's 5K divided by 50? I don't know. I'm too tired to do the math, but you get the idea. So if you want to learn about ads, I did a whole video on ads a few days ago, but the biggest thing that you can know about ads is it's like 80% about the creative. Just need to have a good call to action, a good CTA, and you'll do fine with ads. Also, you want to optimize your content. Another quick thing for content, you want to optimize your content. Super, super important that it's optimized. Make 80% of your content like sales assets, and those don't have to be like directly selling something, but you should be selling yourself in some way in every video that you create. So the full funnel, let's take a look at this real quick. I'm not going to go completely in depth on this, but let me see if I can zoom in on it. Hold up. All right, so here's basically the full funnel that we use in the business. This is the bigger version of it. I just opened it up in Canva so I can zoom in on it. But essentially, the basics here, pretty simple. We're going to start by building out the offer, and it's not letting me zoom in. Hold up. So yeah, we're going to start by building out basically a killer offer. This is the most important part by far. If the offer sucks, if it's like, hey, I'll help you get into fitness, the offer's ass, bro. You got to get a much better offer. It can't just be like fitness or like some dork stuff like that. It has to be like business. Money offers are the best. Anything that's like, hey, I'll help you make 10K a month, those print. Any money offer prints. The other thing that prints very well is like relationship offers, dating offers, that kind of stuff. Building an offer, super, super important. Now we're going to split this into basically 4 forms of traffic. And obviously these are not necessarily the forms from the acquisition equation, but you can see what I mean. We have warm outbound, paid ads, our free content, and then our low ticket community. And so most people don't think of the low ticket as a marketing method, but it 100% is. So the low ticket community, I have a whole course on this inside of my inner circle. But this is basically the way that you have to do low ticket is you have to have an affiliate program. You have to have a really, really solid affiliate program. And so this basically acts as marketing. When people affiliate for this, your brand numbers go up because you get lead getters and they get clients for you. And so your numbers just infinitely go up when that happens, right? So from this content basically, or from this acquisition methods, then we go out to our DM conversation. And so this is where we typically start. Now, sometimes it's not a DM conversation. Sometimes it's a cold call. For us, if we're running ads, it's a cold call. If we're doing anything else, it's pretty much a DM conversation. But we like cold call just because you can connect with your prospects. They like to hear your voice. They can't ghost you nearly as easily. And it's just easier to do it over a cold call. Then they're going to get sent to a booking page, which I'll go over in a minute. Then they're either going to be qualified or disqualified. If they are disqualified, they're going to get nurtured back into the free content. So they're going to be able to watch this free content again and continue to be nurtured, which is going to do 2 things. 1, it's going to help you to continue to build your audience because they already are somewhat interested. They probably just can't afford it or something. But it's going to continue to nurture that person. But 2, it's also going to continue to help you grow your audience because those people are going to be actively engaging with your content. And so when these people who are already somewhat interested in what you have start to consume your content and continue to engage with your content, you're going to be a lot easier to grow for you, right? So that's one other big benefit of whenever you disqualify people, the lead doesn't just go away, right? The lead goes back into the system. And so this is why this flywheel is so effective because now you got more people engaging with your free content. When you have more people engaging with your free content, well, it blows up more. And so from there, if they're qualified in the DMs, what we do is we book them on a triage call. And this is basically the basically it's supposed to be right here, or I guess you could put it back here, but we booked them on a triage call. This triage call basically is qualifying a few things for us, right? This triage call is qualifying, in our case, somewhat monetary. Typically the booking link over here, they either get qualified or disqualified monetarily, but our triage call basically qualifies about half of it, and then the sales call is actually where they're getting sold. And so this is basically a system where we send a free resource, then we send them to a sales call. And here, if you imagine, there's free resource, and then there's also a triage call here, and then another free resource, and then a sales call. Now, this is super important. You got to have a call review system for your closers. Even if you're closing, it is super, super important that you're recording your calls and reviewing these calls so you can actually get real feedback on what you're doing wrong and how you can improve. So if you don't have a call recording system, I'd recommend checking out Fathom. Fathom does an amazing job, not sponsored or anything like that by them, but they do an amazing job of it. From there, the sales call, also for the free resource, there's a few things that need to happen in the free resource, right? Your free resource needs to handle their objections first and foremost. That's the most important part. So making sure that this free resource handles any objections that they might have. They might need to think about it. Well, you should add urgency, right? Handle as many objections as possible, make it as easy for the closer as possible, so that way they are able to actually have their objections handled and they don't have any when they hop on the call. It makes the closer's life a lot easier, right? And then it should do these 5 things, which is called one sentence persuasion if you've never heard of it. But it should justify their past failures, throw rocks at their enemies, ally their fears, confirm their suspicions, and encourage their dreams, right? If it does those 5 things, it's going to be a lot easier to persuade them to buy when it comes to the sales call. Now, on that sales call, they're either going to be qualified or disqualified. Now, if they're disqualified, obviously they're going to get filtered back here, yet again, back into the free content, right? If they are qualified, they're going to get onboarded on the call. Now, this onboarding process has to be dialed in. I did a whole video not too long ago on onboarding called like Complete Onboarding System or something like that. Super efficient onboarding system is necessary here because people are judging you from the second that they get in here. Then we're going to make them money and use those results in ads. So that's one big thing is get killer results. We're going to dump that money back into ads, and so now we can pay for more leads to come into the system. We're not going to dump all of it, obviously, but we're going to dump some money into ads. And then in addition, we're going to take those people, once we onboard them, we're going to deliver them killer results and get crazy testimonials. Then we can put that back here in the booking page to have more testimonials here. And, if we have another booking page here, I guess, when we get those testimonials, we can add them to the booking page. And so I'm going to walk you through the booking page real quick. Hold up. All right, so basically here's the booking page. This is a bit of a different diagram of a different funnel, but they get sent in the DMs and they get sent to a landing page, which is kind of where we're at. So this is the booking page. This is basically where it starts, right? We're gonna have our qualification for them. This is gonna qualify 8 things, right? And if we're doing triage, this might be a little bit different, but we're gonna basically qualify 8 things. Name, email, phone. Who are you? Why are you interested? Are you willing and able to invest? What's your current MRR? How much money are you making, or do you have money, something along those lines? And our no-show policy. And this is basically our no-show policy written out. Very, very important that you have a full written out no-show policy and you make sure that they double check their calendar. This is super important. And I'm pretty sure I stole this from somebody, but I don't know who. So yeah, sorry if I stole this from you. Calendar booking. So that's the next thing. After they get qualified, they get put on the calendar. They're going to get sent to a call confirmation page where it's going to, again, show this no-show policy. It's going to remind them to check their email for important resources that they need to watch prior to the call. It's going to give them testimonials and case studies, and then it's going to have another call confirmation email. It's going to give them access to their sales asset. Then we're going to go to the follow-up sequence, text, email, and DM. We want to be doing this pretty much right before the call. All these things should happen pretty much at these times. So whenever they book, they should get a confirmation email 24 hours before. The night before, they should get a text from the closer. 2 hours before, they should get a text from the closer. The morning of, text from the closer. And then 1 hour before and 5 minutes before. So that's the basics of the booking funnel. The big idea here is that you need to be scaling your systems through data. And so if you're not tracking, you're slacking. And I say this all the time kind of as a joke, but it's 100% true. You're not able to make decisions on what the actual bottlenecks are if you're not like able to identify those bottlenecks. You need to be able to identify the bottlenecks through data analysis. You need to be able to look at what the processes are that are lacking and be able to fix those processes. And this is the most important part of scaling a growth operating business. If you don't get anything else out of this, you need to be tracking everything that you do so that you can get data and make decisions as to what bottlenecks you need to solve now. And so if you're not doing this, you need to start immediately. We use Go High Level and Google Sheets for all of our tracking. You can use whatever you want. That's just what we use. Go High Level is amazing. It's well worth it. I pay $4.97 a month. If you want to get it lifetime and pay instead of $4.97 a month, just pay it lifetime. I can get you that deal. Just go to ic.dawgs.co. You can book a call here and I'll set you up with that if that's of interest for you. But yeah, basically, if you want me to parallel leap you over the competition, give you all the frameworks, all the systems, everything like that, all the exact SOPs that we use, more in depth than this, way more in depth than this. Got over 250 modules in courses as well as coaching and whatnot weekly. Just hit that first link in the description. If not, completely fine. Go fight the war by yourself. Good luck. But it's way harder to fight against an army as one man. And so that's kind of my message is like, go build a team, go build an army behind you. And if you don't, you're going to be left in the dust. And if you do, great on you. But either way, wishing you the best of luck. Plenty of free content here on YouTube as well. So anything else you need, let me know. I got your back for life. You can always DM me on Instagram if you need anything, or if you're curious about anything, feel free to DM me. I'd be happy to give you as much advice as I possibly can. So yeah, peace.